Excellent. Thanks very much. Make it a great day. All right, take care. Is that camera still rolling?
Yeah.
Keep the camera rolling.
Okay.
Bring it over here. Is it rolling? Is it recording right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, folks. Oh, got something in my eye. Hi, folks. Alan Dickie here. Listen. I just finished a session, an interview session with a number of young people looking for an incredible opportunity, to start their selling careers, with me and the dealerships I do business with. However, based on the conversation I just had with about 25 young people, I'm compelled to share a mindset with you, if you will, okay? My gosh. I believe the mass majority of the planet's brainwashed, okay? Yes, I said it, brainwashed, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Today, and especially the young people of today, and people in general, from the time you're born, you pop out of your mom, you're on her breast, and her word becomes the gospel, and rightfully so. I mean, a lot of these people I met today, yourself included, I'm sure are here because, mom and dad did a job, right? They great parents. The problem here is, and what I've witnessed here this evening, is that, mom and dad are echoing the same sentiments as our school systems and our society. And what are they? Well, they sound similar to, son, daughter, you need to go to school and get good grades so you can get a degree and a good education, and then you can buy a house, have a white picket fence, 2.5 kids and a dog, and you can pay that house off by the time you're 60, son. And if you're still alive at that point, you can do crossword puzzles in the local newspaper until you die. Let's get started, okay? This is the exact zombies that are being created, and a large number of them I met this evening. Here's the problem, okay? Our school system is like a circled peg hole, and if you don't fit through it smoothly, from the age of 4, we are deeming people inadequate or incapable. This makes my blood hot. I mean, I really believe that we're stripping human beings of their creativity from the age of 4. It's insane. Now, here's the problem that ensues. In following this blind instruction, what we're producing is a generation of people, and it's only continuing to grow, that are following this obedience, just doing what mom and dad instruct them to do, and not questioning why. What ends up happening is they successfully go through all of these stages, school, high school, college, for example, and on the day of graduation, they're throwing their hats up in the air, running right back to the source who guided them to this point, mom and dad, and they're saying, hey, mom, dad, I did it, I've graduated, now what? And the pearl of wisdom they're being given is get a job. This is crazy. I explained to them as I'll explain to you. You know what a job stands for? A job stands for just over broke. This creates a large number of people who are arriving into the world, into the workplace, with these ridiculous senses of entitlement that are framed in wood and they hang on walls. I call them ridiculous senses of entitlement. They call them diplomas. Now, I'm not trying to take away or discount school, people. Not at all. The problem is I'm not meeting a bunch of people tonight who went to school to sell. I mean, God forbid you could even learn that in today's curriculum. #1 paying profession on the planet next to a movie star, a professional athlete, sales. We don't even teach it in our schools. But no, I'm meeting people who went to school for art, for science, for history. And I'm looking at them saying, why are you here? They're here for the exact reasons I'm just in the process of explaining to you, okay? And this is frightening. I asked this group this evening, I said, at what point did you question the validity of your parents' advice? I asked them, what does your mom do for a living? What does your dad do for a living? The answers I heard were staggering. Mom works at Zellers, dad drives a cab. I looked at these young people and I said to myself, for 20 years you've been following that advice blindly? This is frightening, people. Now here's the great news. I'm making this video and I'm going to send this out to the internet, to the web, to whoever wants to see it, read it, or listen to it, watch it, whatever. And I'm doing it because this is really starting to drive me crazy. Now, the good news is I'm meeting a lot of young people who have incredible attitudes, tons of energy behind them, but they need to be led, and there's not enough leaders out there to show them where they need to go, how they can get there, okay? And that's something that I represent. Now, this audience who heard a similar speech as to what I'm giving you now, they were all jumping out of their chairs because it's been 20-something years in their lives and they haven't never heard something like this. Another thing that I found staggering is we've got a generation right now that just gives everybody participation ribbons, right? When they join the soccer team or the football team or the baseball team, there's no first and second place. Let's just give everyone a participation ribbon. Let's just promote mediocrity. That's what we're doing right now. Even in our school systems, we're not even failing people. Everybody's getting a pass. I explained to them, as I'm going to explain to you, when you follow through these systems blindly, All you're doing is creating a force for free-thinking people like myself and many others in the world who are willing to go for failure in the name of creating their lives and their dreams with a workforce. With a workforce that we can own through the fear-mongering of 30 to 40 grand a year plus benefits. Just enough money for you to order a pizza on Friday. You see, the fact of the matter is what's happening in our world today, what has been promoted and put on these young people thus far in their lives is a crazy mentality. It's a mentality of, well, this is the way it is. You know, this is life. People these days, in my opinion, and it's being supported with what I see, are living their lives in jail for 72% of their lives. You know what the 72% represents? It represents Monday to Friday. They live their lives in this jail and they only get to come out and live for 28% of their actual life on this planet, and that's represented by the weekend. You know, they're the ones that sound like TGIF, you know, getting excited. All they're doing is escaping this reality, this existence that they cannot stand Monday to Friday, 72% of their lives, just to get out for this 28% where they sedate themselves with drugs and alcohol just to escape their crappy existences, okay? I know that sounds harsh, but it tends to be the reality of it. And they do this so just in the nick of time they can jump back on the merry-go-round or go-around ride Monday morning, you know, and continue. What ends up happening? 40 years of their lives disappear. They're 60, ready to retire, and they're asking themselves, where did my life go? I've got two messages I really want to convey today, okay? Number one, young people on the planet, before it's too late, go and visit a retirement home, okay? Visit a retirement home and sit down and talk to an 80 or a 90-year-old who still has their wits about them. Look them dead in the eye and say, hey, can I ask you a question? I'm 20. What would you do different? You know, like, I just want to hear from somebody who has 70, you know, more years on this planet than I have. What would you do different if you could rewind the clock? If you do this, you know what you're going to hear? You're going to hear a frightening consistency. Not a frightening, but a good one. You know, a consistency of them saying, I wish I would have went for it. I wish I would have gone for it. I wish I would have taken more risks. I'm saying this to you because, people, I want you guys to start, you know, jumping out of your shells. If this sounds like you, because 85% of this room I just spoke to, it sure is, you know what sounded like that to them. It sounded like them. They were nodding in agreement. I want to encourage you, it's not too late. The other thing is this. Let me make it abundantly clear. I'm not discounting school, but I am a proponent of school when I know somebody says to me, I want to go to school to be a veterinarian. If I see one more cat die before they should, it's going to drive me crazy. I mean, what I mean by that is, you know, they have an acute focus on what it is they're looking to accomplish. When you have that focus, get into school, take those courses, achieve those degrees, and create that, you know, life that you're looking to create. But what I can't get my mind, you know, wrapped around is the amount of people that I'm seeing going to school just because it's what they were told to do. Getting degrees in things like business, and when I ask them for what, the answers are to do business. To do what kind of business? Well, you know, like run a company. To run what kind of company? They have no answers. Remember something, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And this is why this is so important. We are actually in the season, the fall. School is starting up. There is a lot of young people like this that are headed down this path. I want to encourage you, if you are a young person or a student who is on this path, to really think about what I'm saying to you in this video. I also want to encourage you, if you're a parent and have a young person, you know, a child who's going through what I'm describing, I want you to be cognizant of what I'm discussing in this tape right now, okay? The fact of the matter is, some of you may have a child who's 8 or 9 or 10 years old who says, hey man, I want to learn the guitar, I want to take guitar lessons. Might be the next Jimi Hendrix, you don't know. But if you keep telling them, no, you're not going to do that, it's a waste of time in predetermining what your child's, you know, potential creative abilities or natural gifts they've been given are, you're no different than the school system that I just described. Folks, listen, my name's Alan Dickie. I encourage people to create their lives. I do it through selling, but the principles are all the same. There's 7 billion plus people, people on the planet, and we are all salespeople, any way you cut it. You've been selling since you were 2 years old. You were selling your parents on buying you ice cream when you were 4. You were selling your teachers on why your assignments were late and not, you know, getting penalized for handing in your assignments late. You were selling your parents on why your room wasn't clean, and they caught you out front of the street playing baseball baseball, okay? Get your head wrapped around selling and creating your futures. If you want to learn more on how to do this and not become what it is I'm describing here, look me up. You can find me at Alan Dickie Ace, A-C-E, at Twitter, on all social media feeds, on Facebook, etc. AlanDickie.com, that's my website, and you're probably going to run into a lot of content that will help shave these sheep, as I like to say. That's all I've got. Kill the camera. Thanks for listening. Make it a great day.